Hello, everybody, and welcome to the New Comic Book Minute for the week of Wednesday, September 21st. Nick, do you hear that? Do you hear the sound of no construction outside of the store? Oh my God! The parking has returned.
Was coming. The parking, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't prepare you for that riff at all. Anyways, we're going to get to it because this is a huge week for comics. There's a ton of stuff to talk about, and I'm really excited about all of it. And so my backlog is going to get even bigger because I got a lot to read. So I'm going to get started right away. The one, the only Mr. Mike Mignola, Frankenstein, the New World, Issue 2. Issue 1 was great. It's from the world of Hellboy. And if you like Mike Mignola, you should definitely check this out. It's a 4-parter. This is issue 2. We still have issue 1. We've also got issue 2 of one of my favorite books that's come out in the last couple of months. 20th Century Men, alternate military history with mechs. 20th Century Men. It's been really, really good.
Alternate World War II? Or
I believe. I don't know if they make explicit. It looks like World War II.
Oh, okay.
And then a book I know very little about, and that is by design, because I've been really anticipating it, is the new Donny Cates Ryan Stegman book for Image. And sometimes it's nice when two creators that you know that this book's just going to move and you really don't have to learn anything about it, so you can be surprised along with everybody else, which is what I'm looking forward to. But yeah, some sort of techno fantasy, brought to you by the folks who brought you one of the best Venom runs in years, Donny Cates, Ryan Stegman. It's a beautiful looking book, and also just looks like some really special world building is going on, and I cannot wait to read it. Also, the cover just reminds me of an era of like Top Cow superheroes of like they've got long hair and their mask covers up to their nose. Then I wanted to call out, so IDW's been putting out some really interesting stuff lately, and they've got a new title out this week called Crashing, which is an interesting look at addiction, and this is like the second of their new indie book, or third of their new indie books. The first one was that one that's like kind of a memoir of firefighters by Scott Snyder.
Blanking on the name. Dark something like that. It's really good.
It's really great. We can't remember the name because
I think it's Dark Spaces.
Something. Anyways, it is about people who fight wildfires, and it's really cool. And so, anyways, IDW, who you normally think of as probably just like, hey, they've got a bunch of licenses, has been
Sonic.
Yeah, has been doing a ton of great indie stuff. So I wanted to call out Crashing. You should check this book out, and then you should also check out totally tonally different, but this book, True Cult, that's on issue 2. This came out last week, but when we're talking about IDW, I wanted to give it another pass. True Cult, if you thought satanic cults and fast food service were a match made in heaven, then this book is for you. No, it's really funny. It's really clever. The art's really good. I really like it. By Scott Bryan William and Lena Kangas, I think is how you pronounce it. And then into more well-tread ground, we've got the next in the series of Batman One Bad Day, which are kind of like Killing Joke-esque stories about what if each character's origin was somehow kind of connected to Batman. So, Batman breeds the thing that Batman fights, the escalation of, so on and so forth. And they're each written by a different, very acclaimed writer. So, this one is by Mariko Tamaki, and it's Two-Face this week. All of these have been awesome. We've had people like Tom King so far, and Jeff Johns, and the list just keeps going. So there's a few more of those left. I would definitely check it out. You can read them in a vacuum, or you can read the whole series. Deceased, War of the Undead Gods, the epic conclusion to all of the Deceased series that have come before. This is by Tom Taylor, everybody's favorite writer. And this is issue 2, so issue number 1 is on the shelf. So if you've any interest in the DC side, which many, many people do, we know, this is going to be supposedly the end of it. And then we have a new X book, Exterminators.
It's back.
I'm just going to show you the characters that are part of Exterminators and let you draw your own judgments, X fans. This looks like it's going to be really, really exciting. Then I've got 2 more issues. Action journalism. So this is a cool new book from Oni I'm really interested to read, but kind of the tradition of intrepid reporter in wild fantasy superhero universe turned on its head. So cool. Inspired by the likes of Lois Lane kind of thing, but lots of space aliens, and what it would be like if the reporter were the center of the story in a universe where things are always bonkers. yeah, looks pretty interesting. And then finally, we had some very limited versions of the first printings of this. They were limited to like a couple copies per store the country over, but this time they have seen fit to give us second printings, which we have plenty of these ash cans now, which are commemorating the launch of Frank Miller's new production company. So Frank Miller, who you might know from such comics as Daredevil or The Dark Knight Returns or Sin City, or we could keep going, or RoboCop. You know, the guy what wrote RoboCop 3, everybody's favorite RoboCop. No, I'm kidding. Frank Miller is a
That one had the ninjas.
Yeah, that was the one with the ninjas.
Yeah.
But Frank Miller is putting out comics, and he's putting out other people's comics, and he's putting out his own. This ash can contains some preview for Ancient Enemies and Ronin Book 2. So he's returning to write a second Ronin, which is not something I thought I would see in my lifetime. So that's pretty cool, and these are $1. So definitely worth checking out for $1.
I'll buy that for $1.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I've got a couple trades that I'm going to get through real quick, and then we'll turn it over to Nick, because Nick's got a big stack of stuff this week as well. Bloodstained Teeth, Volume 1. This is a really cool vampire story. You really like this, I think.
Art, and it's great, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like psychedelic almost. The colors are really fantastic. And Bird King. I don't know anything about this other than it is dark fantasy that has kind of a Mignola or Oming vibe to it. It was recommended to me. It is put out by Dark Horse. Very like stylish fantasy book.
Looks a little like Headlopper.
Yeah, kind of
bit.
for fans of Headloppers, definitely like an description. So I haven't read this. I'm excited to read it. We got another Best of 2000 AD, Volume 1. So if you were trying to get into 2000 AD, here's a good place to start. Easy to learn, difficult to master. Pong Atari in the Dawn of the Video Game by David Kushner and Corin Shumdi. This is the beginning of a memoir about the early days of the video game industry, and there are, I believe, there are going to be more.
Very cool.
But yeah, the art's in it's really cool. But yeah, it's a cool nonfiction thing, and we got another nonfiction thing. It won't always be like this. This is a good book for adults or your teen potentially, but it is a memoir, and it deals a lot. It is her memoir, the author's memoir, primarily of growing up. Just being a teenager is difficult to navigate for everybody, and doing so in a country where you don't know the language or the customs or the social norms adds a further level of complication to that. And this is a really beautiful and funny and just like kind of heartfelt look at that. And I think you will probably enjoy it if you enjoy memoir. But also it can be a good book for a younger person who's dealing with that stuff at present. And then finally, I am really excited about this. This is the second original graphic novel in a series by formerly Ohio's own Matthew Bogart. I forgot his name for a moment there. Incredible Doom. Were you on the internet when the internet first started becoming a thing that you could get on? Do you like dial-up modems and BBSs and those kind of things? But also maybe think Daniel Clow's comics are really cool? I do. That's me. I'm that Venn diagram. If you are also that Venn diagram, Incredible Doom is an awesome story about growing up in the Midwest and weird stuff by way of early internet things, and it's a really cool piece of fiction. The first volume is great. I can't wait to read through the second volume. If we ever get the book club back up and started, we will someday. Incredible Doom is going to be out. Yeah. All right, Nick.
Well, here we go.
You got
30
a few
seconds left. So we've got Gary Dugan's X-Men Green continues. This is issue 2. We've got issue 1 on the shelf still, so if you are looking for some X-Men in the Savage Land,
that's where the green.
This is for you. Yeah, that's the green. We got X-Men Red on the shelf as well. That's a few issues in, which is also good. But this is the green version. It's like Pokemon, red and green.
It's got Sauron on the cover.
Yeah.
Which I was confused by as a child, that he was not like Sauron from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, different. They haven't got that license yet, but someday. Then we got DC's got this nice Harley Quinn 30th anniversary special. It's 30 years of Harley. So there's been quite a few new Harley books recently.
All of them are good too. Becky Cloonan writing? Or no, not. Sorry. No, she is.
Is she writing the main one? I forget who's writing them.
They're all good.
But they're good. This is a one-shot. I assume this is going to be a one-shot of just a 30th anniversary special. So check that out for your Harley fix for the week. Then we have Titans United Blood Pack. This is one of 6. If you want some Nightwing and some Superboy and some Beast Boy and others, then here they are. The boys are back. The Teen Titans United in a Blood Pact. I'm not sure what the Blood Pact part relates to. Haven't read it yet, but I'm looking forward to that. Fan of the Teen Titans, so check that out if you're looking for more. Then, speaking of blood, we've got Bloodshot Unleashed, number 1 by Valiant. Bloodshot is... Oh, I was going to read... Actually, yeah. He is infused with cutting-edge nanotechnology. Bloodshot was designed by his former masters as a private military contractor to be an unstoppable killing machine. So I feel like if you have been enjoying Berserker, featuring the likeness of Keanu Reeves, this is kind of like that, where he is turned into a killing machine. The art in this is actually really nice. If you're a fan of that type of guns blazing action, then Bloodshot Unleashed may be for you. Then, also featuring guns, we have The Sixth Gun, but this is a Western by Cullen Bunn.
So
he writes a bunch of good stuff.
Yeah. Do you think there's any supernatural element to this, given that it's Cullen Bunn?
Yeah, it's probably gonna have some supernatural, weird horror. I already see some vultures who are not supernatural, but they're creepy. So, yes.
October's just around the corner.
Yeah.
It's Halloween's on the way.
Cullen Bunn.
Yeah. That's his month.
That's have 100 books a month. So yeah, there are some creepy runes I see as I'm now looking at the cover. So anyway, The Sixth Gun, if you want a new Cullen Bunn
paranormal
series,
horror period piece.
check that
The master
out.
of which Cullen Bunn is.
Then, let's just keep going with the horror stuff. Then we got a Creep Show, number 1, Tales of Suspense and Horror by Chris Burnham.
It's almost like no one can get the Crypt Keeper license untangled from the licensing hell it's stuck in.
So this looks like a fun... Oh, there's a kid dressed up as Marty McFly. Speaking my language here. And someone is dressed up as a hot dog. So if you're looking for another horror series, Creep Show, maybe for you, or if you want to relive your youth or something, or remember the books you read as a kid like I do, R.L. Stein's Stuff of Nightmares.
To be clear, these are very much for adults, I think, right?
The Stuff of Nightmares one?
Yeah.
I think it's... Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Well...
it might be like...
Yeah.
It might be...
Your teen could read this.
Yeah, I think this is like teen appropriate. I don't think this is like... Look, R.L. Stein's got his limits.
Yeah.
And it's got, BYOB, bring your own brain. It's got a classic R.L. Stein tagline. But anyway, Stuff of Nightmares is a new R.L. Stein series, so very excited about that. If you're a Goosebumps fan or whatever, or Fear Street. Then we've got Barbaric Axe to Grind number 2. This is the second volume of Barbaric. If you haven't read Barbaric, highly recommend. It's about a barbarian who is cursed to only kill people if they deserve to die, essentially, and he's annoyed by that because he can't just kill people while he wants to. And then he also has an axe that gets drunk off of blood. So you've got a talking axe, you've got a barbarian, and you've got excellent art. We've got the first volume in a collected edition, and this is issue 2 of Axe to Grind, which is the second
and you
installment.
can kind of just honestly start there. I mean, it's like you know what you need to know going in, but I highly recommend that first one. But this has been one of my favorite comics.
It's great. Yeah. And then, real quick, we got some new manga releases that, if you're not reading already, you should, and you can get caught up with what we've got on the shelf. We've got the Zelda Twilight Princess. That's on Volume 10. Zelda. Then, Spy Family. This is on Volume 8. This series is so good. Can't recommend this one highly enough. It's got great humor, action, some heartwarming family stories as well. So Spy Family, one of my favorites. Blue Period, if you're looking for a fun, nice slice of life story about an artist, a kid who's an artist, he's into art. Blue Period. And then finally, Beastars, if you want some weird stuff with these anthropomorphic animal people in their high school, and they're trying to sometimes eat each other, and
Put
it's all
that
weird.
on the dust jacket.
Yeah.
Now a Netflix
B-Stars.
anime.
Yeah. Series is great too. But yeah. So that's what's new this week.
I don't know
Locking
if
in
we
in a
did
minute.
it in a minute.
I hope so.
All right. Well, anyways, thank you very much, folks. And let us know what you're looking forward to reading this week, because you got a lot to pick from. Everybody's backlog. Just
Yeah.
get reading.
See you later.